thinking they playing with me. Look into my eyes, do it look like you playing me? This is safe to be thinking that you could ever get over on me. I'm a rebel of this game, so ain't no rules if you find me. Y'all a felon in this industry. Y'all misdemeanor, tell me smart, I'm new.
What's up, everybody? This is your man, Next Icon. This is the ICON Chronicles, and as always, every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m., it is me, your awe-inspiring host. And for those that are unaware, Next Icon is an acronym for No Excuses, I Can Overcome Negativity. So today is the first Monday of February, Monday, February 7th, 2022. Y'all know what next Monday is. Let me tell y'all, my brothers, black men, white men, Chinese men, oh, I'm sorry, Asian men, Haitian men, Jamaican men. Did I leave anybody out? Irish men, yo, don't wait until Sunday night. Don't wait until Monday morning. Because I ain't got no room for none of y'all. Y'all got 1 week. Y'all know what next Monday is. It's February 14th. You know what that is. You know what you need to do. And you know, if you know yourself, you know that you're going to wait until the last minute. You always wait till the last minute when everything is almost going off the shelves. And then you want to try and rush and go and grab something because you forgot. Well, I'm here to help y'all remember. Next Monday is Valentine's Day. Y'all got a whole week. If you ain't already done it, y'all done had a whole week. Well, you got a whole week left to get yourself together. Because I ain't got no room for none of y'all. I know ain't none of y'all trying to be in the doghouse. Ain't none of y'all trying to be at your mama house. Ain't nobody trying to be on the couch. I'm trying to help y'all out. Trying to keep y'all ahead of the game. Next Monday is Valentine's Day. Don't wait until Sunday, February 13th. Because if you know, like I know, Friday is the 11th. Everybody gonna be trying to rush on Friday to try and get what they should have got today. So I'm helping y'all out here. Do it now. Get your stuff now. Today. Tomorrow. You got all week. Don't wait until Friday. I'm telling you, do not wait until Friday, or y'all gonna be ass out come Monday. Sunday. I'm gonna say Sunday. You're gonna be ass out. Monday is just gonna be the day of retributions and repercussions because y'all know what's gonna happen. So don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't remind you. Today is Monday, February 7th. Y'all got a week. Anyway, so let's get started. Anybody else paying attention? I know I was kind of late. My days have been kind of hectic lately. I've been rehearsing. If anybody is available on Friday, the 11th, I will be performing somewhere. I forgot. I posted. I've been posting it on my page. Go to Eventbrite. It's called Sip and Something. I've been having so much going on. It's Sip and Something. Go to my page. Um, Go to my Next Icon page. I'm gonna post it again tonight. Go to Eventbrite. Get your ticket. It's Friday night. I'll also be performing on February 26th. I don't know what day that is. I think that's on a Friday or Saturday too. It's somewhere around there. Maybe Sunday. I will be performing at another event. I'm sorry, y'all, man. It's let me try and look it up right quick because my mind has been. I've been rehearsing and recording and filming and God knows what else. So my mind is kind of fried right now with what it is I'm supposed to be trying to remember. At least I remember to remind my fellow men about next week. Because like I said, I ain't got no room for none of y'all. All right, so on February 26th, it is called the Chocolate Raspberry Affair. It's from 6 to 9 at my girlfriend's place at 5052 Redan Road in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I'll be performing some of my poetry as well. I'll be performing my poetry on the 11th as well, which is this coming Friday. And it is called, if I can find that one, and of course I can't because that's the way that my luck runs. There it is. It is called Sip and Shoot, and I have no idea what that is yet because it won't tell me. And my phone is doing its own thing. So, but I will be at both of these events. I'm trying to find this gentleman's name here. Was that him? Nope, that wasn't him. But basically, it's called Sip and Shoot. And if you go to Eventbrite and type in Sip and Shoot, that will give you all of the information that you need to know as to where it's going to be because I cannot find the gentleman who invited me there. Is this him? This is him. All right, got it. All right. So again, it's called Sip and Shoot. It is this Friday, and the address is 460 Glover Street in Marietta, Georgia. That's 460 Glover Street Southeast, Marietta, Georgia. You get your tickets at Eventbrite. Just type in Sip and Shoot and come out and support. Come out and support Vivian Stitt Dinkins. I think I said her name right. I probably balled it up. I'm very bad with names. She's throwing the event on the 26th. Come out and support. Make sure that you have your mask on, please. Make sure that you have your mask on, please. Make sure you have your mask on, please, at both of these events. I said it 3 times, so it should be ingrained in your brain. I just said it 3 times. I'm gonna say it again just to make sure for added measure. Make sure that you wear your mask, please. Sip and Shoot this Friday, February 11th. The event starts. The event starts at 7 o'clock from 7 to 10. Um, Miss Dinkins' Sith event starts from 6 to 9, and again that is in Stone Mountain. Sip and Shoot is in Marietta. So come on and show some love, show some support. Anyway, now that I've got all of that out of the way, anything else? Oh yeah, one more thing. Go to distrokid.com and download my new single, Pillow Talk, or any of my other songs that's on there. I got a whole album on there called The Declaration of Me, and I have 4 or 5 singles that are on there. Check them out. They're not the type of hip hop that you're used to because I'm trying to cater to the women because we got to get back to that. But that's a whole nother thing. We on something else tonight. So I want to ask everybody here a question. And a lot of us don't like to think about this, but in these days and times, we have to think about it because it's happening left and right. If you were to pass away right now, what would you be leaving behind? What type of memory would you be leaving behind? What kind of impression on people would you be leaving behind if you were to pass away right now? What would your legacy be? Would your legacy be one that someone would remember? Would it be a legacy that someone would want to forget? Would it be favorable? Would it make people smile? Would it make people laugh every time that they thought about it? What would be the things that people would say about you? We keep having this saying, and I keep seeing it posted, to give flowers to people while they're here. Tell people that you love them because tomorrow was not promised. Sometimes the next 5 minutes isn't promised. Sometimes the next 60 seconds isn't promised. See, nobody really knows what's going to happen to us from 1 second to the next because life can change in the blink of an eye. What is it that you're going to leave behind when you're gone? We all have a tendency to procrastinate. We have a million and one ideas in our head. We have a million and one goals that we want to pursue. But some of us dilly dally, take our time, think that we have an exorbitant amount of time to achieve what it is that we say that we want to achieve. Look around you. Look at how this year has started. Look how this year has ended. Look how the last 2 years have been. What are you going to leave behind? We all want to do something. And I've said this on a number of occasions. We want to go back to school. We want to write a book. We want to write a song. We want to do this. We want to do that. Stop talking about it. Stop wishing. Stop wondering. Nike has a saying. It's three very simple words. Just do it. No, I'm not telling you to go out here and if your goal is to rob 100 banks or something violent or illegal or immoral or unethical, I'm not telling you to do that. The people that are listening to me and that are paying attention to me, they know what I'm talking about. Now, people have this thing of saying you're too old. You too old to be doing this. You too old to be doing that. You too old to be starting this. You too old to be starting that. Look at history, my friends. Look at history. Some of the biggest success stories didn't get their start until they were older. I'm going to say that again. A lot of famous and successful people did not get to the point that they are until they were older. Now, I'm going to tell you something. And probably a lot of y'all were the same way. You young, dumb, and you're not thinking about what you're going to do in 20 and 10, 20, 30 years because you think you got forever. How many of us didn't make it past 17? How many of us didn't make it past 20? Tupac was 25 when he was murdered, assassinated. Tupac, I say, was assassinated. Some might agree, some might not. Biggie was murdered. Tupac was assassinated. Biggie was flat out murdered. And people are going to get mad at me probably for saying that too, but that's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. Stop talking about what you want to do. There was a line in Juice, if anybody remembers it. And if you don't remember what Juice is what is Tupac's first movie that he came out on. There was a line in there in the scene, and he's in the house scene with Q, Steele, and Raheem. And there was a scene before that where their boy Blizzard robbed, I think it was a bar, and they were going back over that. But one of the things that Tupac said, well, that what his character Bishop says, that you got to stand up, you have to fight, you got to get the wind behind your back and be ready to die if you have to. Some of us need to get the wind behind our back because our time is limited. We need to leave something behind to remember us. Now, a lot of us is walking around here, we holding grudges. We hating people, we despising people, we not getting along with certain people. But then when them same folks die, because when those folks die, we all go through this guilt, this guilty conscious thing. Is, man, I never got to say I was sorry. I thought I had time to work things out with them. I thought they had time to work things out with me. Nobody knows what our last day is. I know that feeling because I had a friend of mine. This was my brother, my street brother. His name was Oscar Donnell Atkinson. We called him London. London Eli Novi. From the day that we met, it was like we were twins. Like we were literally finishing each other's sentences. Whenever he had an issue, I was right there. That was my dog. If you had an issue with him, you had an issue with me. That's how tight we were. But London had a drinking problem. Bad. And there was a night that I don't remember what initiated it, but we got into an argument. It's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And somehow it ended up being out in the middle of the street. And it was an argument that got close to getting physical. But what happened was is that London was so drunk. He tried to rush me in the middle of the street. We in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We on the southwest side in the middle of Granville Avenue. And he tries to rush me. But London was so drunk that he tripped over the yellow lines in the middle of the road. But in his mind, and I kind of laugh about it, but I still kind of feel bad about it. But in his mind, he thinks that I hit him. Up until the day he died, as far as I know, in his mind, he thinks that I hit him and knocked him into the streets. I never laid a hand on him. But that was one of my regrets when he passes. That, man, we never did get to settle that. It's nothing that he held against me, but it's like whenever we started reminiscing about the old day, about the old crazy times that we did, he would always like throw in there, and then there was a time that you hit me or wherever. It's like, dude, I didn't hit you. I never touched you. The street whooped your ass. You tried to come at me. The yellow line said, not today. That's what got you. It wasn't me. And it sounds silly, like to hold on to that, but some of us hold on to stuff that's even sillier. And we walk around with that. And then when that person dies, we have all of this regret and we have this conscience that's eating us because we never got to make amends. Part of your legacy before you leave this earth should be to make amends and to release all grudges that you have against people. Because a lot of these people that you're holding grudges against don't even know. They don't even care. It's called forgiveness. But see, the forgiveness is not for them. Because again, they don't know that you have a grudge. They don't know that you walk around still mad at them. They don't know that you walk around hating them, despising them. They don't know. So they're not gonna know if you forgive them either. The forgiveness is not for that person. The forgiveness is for yourself. It's for you to clear your mind, to clear your conscience, to clear your heart. Because if it's you that passes, that's not something that you want to carry on with you onto the other side. Let it go here. The family members, ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, folks that you had beef with, and let it go. Let that be a part of your legacy. Is that you womaned up, you manned up, and you like, yo, this is squashed because that's too much energy. That's too much power that you're giving away. It's a beast that you keep feeding that's never going to get full. On the other note of the legacy that you leave behind, people say, leave your children a business, leave your children money, leave the world something to remember you by. Not somebody said, well, he tried it, I mean, and then he gave up, or she went for it, but then she walked away. No, stop giving up. Stop walking away. If you want to write a book, write the book. Stop. One of the things that I hate seeing on social media is people asking, what can they do with their book? Can my character do this? Can my character do that? Can my character leap from Earth to Mars in a single leap? Can my character have 8 arms? And do I start my book like this? Let me tell y'all something. This is your book. This is your creation. This is your idea. Stop asking us. Because all of us are going to have 1,000,001 opinions for how you should do it, what you shouldn't do, why you shouldn't do it. This is not our story. This is your story. This is something that you created. If your character wants to leave from here to Mars or to the next galaxy, if that's what you came up with in your mind, write it like that. Don't worry about who's going to read it and who's going to like it and who's not, because it doesn't matter. Yes, there's going to be some people that's going to say you crazy and it doesn't make any sense. There's somebody else that's going to say it's brilliant, great work of art, masterpiece. Mm-hmm. Les Brown says that there's two voices, and I've said this before. There's two voices that you need to be aware of when you come up with an idea or when you come up with a goal. The voice within, and the voice without. The voice without are the people that are telling you that you're crazy, that it makes no sense, that you should do it this way, that you should do it that way. Do it your way. Because all we have, again, is opinions. And our opinions are only as valuable as you choose to make it. Stop asking people what you should do. If you want to write a song, write a song. If don't nobody like it, oh well. Sing your heart out. Rap your heart out. Beatbox your heart out. Whatever it is that you want to do musically, do it to your best. Because it's going to stick with somebody. That book you write that you think ain't nobody gonna like, somebody's gonna read it and it's gonna stick with somebody. It's gonna motivate somebody. It's gonna inspire somebody because they are watching you. Do you have any idea how many people that don't know you are watching you? Some are watching to see you fail. Some are watching to see you succeed. Do you have any idea who you're inspiring right now? Now, some of y'all going is you going through your list. Well, I know that I aspire to them, and I'm not talking about the people that you know, because sometimes the people that you know that are saying that you are inspiring to them, they lying. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones that want you to fail. They want to tarnish your legacy. This is your legacy. This is what you're leaving behind. Do what it is that you say that you want to do. Stop procrastinating. Stop dilly dallying. That's the only word I can think of. It's an old fashioned word. It's the only word that I can think of. Stop being lazy about it. Some of us have so much talent that we do not put forth and we do not use. We let it go to waste. We let that voice within talk us out of it. As soon as that's one of the worst voices that you can listen to sometimes is the voice within, your inner voice. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes we have a tendency, we come up with an idea that at first thought we think is brilliant. We think it's great. It's awesome. In the same way that we came up with that idea, the same way that we'll turn around and we'll shut ourselves down and convince ourselves that it's a waste of time. Convince ourselves that it's crazy. Convince ourselves that it's not going to work. Believe in yourself. Believe in the ability that's been given to you. Trust it. You think that nobody's made a mistake in their goal? You think that nobody's made a mistake in their dream? It's a learning process. Every goal and every dream does not work out the first time that it's attempted. But how many times that you've tried, it's a legacy. Because the people that when they talk about you, can say, no matter what they did, man, they kept hitting a brick wall, but they wouldn't give up. That's who I'm going to be like. They didn't give up. They didn't quit. They didn't throw in the towel. That's how I'm going to be. All of us have a talent. All of us have a purpose here. Some of us are still trying to find that purpose. Some of us think that we have no talent. Don't believe that. We all have a talent. And we are here to put it to use constructively, creatively. Because the whole point of having those talents and having those skills and having those abilities is to leave a legacy behind. And you don't have to be famous. You ain't got to be Denzel. You ain't got to be Bill Gates. You ain't got to be Michael Jordan. You ain't got to be Ludacris. You ain't got to be Cicely Tyson. You ain't got to be Angela Bassett. All you have to do is be you. That's the legacy that you need to leave. Who you were, what you were about, what you stood for, what you believed in, and how you stood by those beliefs, how you fought that fight, how many times that you got knocked down, and how many times that you got back up to the point that everybody was like, okay, look, I got to step in and help. Another Les Brown saying, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Anything that you put out into this world is going to be a challenge to your legacy because it's testing you to see how bad that you want it. How strong is your resolve to achieve what you said that you want to do? This world is going to test you. It's going to back you up against the wall. It's going to beat you in your head. It's going to body slam you. It's going to break your ankle, snap your wrist. It's going to make you feel like you broke your neck. But you got to make it through it. Because these are tests. And like they say in the church, these tests give you your testimony. Because when you speak on it and how you achieved it and what the struggles were that you went through, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the grind, the hustle, the hard times, you're going to be speaking to somebody that's going through the exact same thing. You're going to hit the heart of somebody that's in that same position, that's ready to give up, that's ready to throw their hands up and walk away. They're going to hear your story. They're going to hear your testimony, and they're going to be encouraged. You are going to be their guiding light. And they may not ever tell you this. It's not always somebody that you know. You can walk into a room full of 100 people that you know. Is maybe 10 people that don't know you, but they've heard about you. They've heard your story, and they want to get a piece of that non-stop, hardcore, never give up, do or die attitude that you have in you. That's your legacy. Whether they tell you or not, that's your legacy. See, there's so many of us that walk around here that have so much information, so much knowledge of so many things, but they stingy with it. They selfish with it. You ask them a question about it, they don't want to tell you. They tell you it's too hard. There's no way that I can explain it to you. You wouldn't get it if I told you. How do they know? They haven't even tried to give you the first line of what it takes to do it. See, they don't want to give you the information because, again, those are the people that are trying to tarnish your legacy. Because, one, they're scared that you might make it past them. See, they haven't made it past a certain point yet. And what their fear is that you're going to get to the point where they are and you're going to surpass them. And a lot of people don't want that. They don't want to see you do that. They don't want to see you make it. They don't want to see you succeed. They want your legacy to be they gave up. Good. One less person that I got to compete with. Yes, got them out of it. They don't want to do it. There's more time for me to do it, more room for me to be successful before they catch on it. I just sabotage their whole thing. Boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, family, people you work with, some friends. You have to watch your circle. You have to watch who you tell your ideas to. Watch who you tell your goals to, because somebody is going to try and steal it and make it theirs. Again, another tarnish to your legacy. See, the steps that you walk, the breath that you breathe, the sights that you see, nobody's going to see it like that. Nobody's going to do it like that because it wasn't meant for them. Don't get mad if don't nobody understand your goal. Don't be upset if they don't get your idea. They're not meant to because it wasn't given to them. It was given to you. It was given to you to manifest it and to do something with it. That was given to you. Nobody else is going to understand it. Nobody else is going to get it. We're not supposed to, because we have our own goals and our own ideas and our own things that we're supposed to be doing for ourselves to leave our own legacy. Before I got to this point where I'm at, I heard so much negativity aimed at me, directed at me, put on me, that I started to believe it. I started to believe that I wasn't going to never be nothing more than a common street thug. I wasn't going to be nothing more than a thief. I'm not going to ever do anything with my life. I'm an embarrassment. I've heard so many things said about me and said to me that I had got to a point where I thought that the only two places that I was ever going to be in my life was either spending my life in a jail cell or being in a grave. Because I kept hearing so much of what I wasn't and what I wasn't going to be and what I wasn't going to do and how bad I was at this and how I sucked at this, that I started believing it. If you would have told me back then that I was going to be an author of 5 books, that I was going to have 9 albums to my credit, that if you were going to tell me that people were going to use my music and soundtracks, and that I was going to be an actor, I would have looked at you and laughed, because that's where my mind was. I was so down that I I attempted suicide 3 times, because I can because there was so much negativity going around me. It made me question, why was I even here? If that's all I'm going to do, if that's all me, why am I here? Why not just go ahead and just end it all right now? That way, you ain't got to worry about it. But at a certain point in my life, other people started coming around me, and they started putting something else in me. I found a love for music, and I started seeing how music was making me known. Music was feeding me. It was giving me a release. And the music brought me from Michigan to Atlanta. The music opened the doors to me acting. And I'm gonna tell you something. I never intended on writing a book. I never intended on acting. It's just something that I fell into because the doors opened. My first book, Love for the Game, was actually a short story. It was a contest entry in creative loafing because I was bored. I was I was sitting at home. I wasn't in a relationship or anything. I'm just sitting at home chilling. I used to always pick up creative loafing, flip through it, looking through the ads because I was always looking for auditions, looking for places to perform. But every year they had a writing contest. So one year out of boredom, fine. Write this little story, see what it is. The story got mentioned, and I wish I would have kept that article, but I've moved so many times that it got lost in transit somewhere. But the fact that it got mentioned, that's what motivated me to turn it into a book. That book turned into 2 books. that turned into 3 books. That is now 5 books, and it's going to be 6 books pretty soon. I love telling this story about how I got into acting. It's a twofold story. The first was I had an ex girlfriend who was the actress, but she kept complaining that she couldn't find acting jobs in Atlanta. Out of curiosity, I just stepped in just to see how difficult it was. I've been doing it ever since. She's given up. She's going back to her city. She's doing whatever she's doing. Meanwhile, I'm here. I'm acting my behind off in this arena that she said was so difficult. The second part of the story is I met this guy and his wife named Bobby and Renee Peoples of the People's Network. Bobby didn't even know me, and I forget how we came across. I think it was an ad or something like that. He was doing a movie called Pursuit of the American Dream, and I got selected to be an extra. All I was supposed to do was just be. We were in a boxing gym in, I want to say, in Austell, and all I was supposed to do was just be a part of the crowd when the gunfight broke out. What happened was the guys that were supposed to be the hitmen decided that they didn't want to show. So I got promoted. I got promoted from an extra to a hitman. But because of that, and because I followed instructions, I didn't give any attitude because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm new to the game. So the only thing I could do was follow instructions. But because of that, when filming was wrapped, Bobby was like, I know a lady that's doing a stage play. Would you be interested? If you are, I'll tell her about you and I'll get you hooked up. I'm like, okay, cool. That lady introduced me to another lady that was doing a stage play because again, I followed directions. I learned my lines. I understood. I started learning the different theatrical terms and blocking and all of this. I started learning all of that, and I just followed directions. And I showed up to rehearsal. I learned my lines. I did whatever it was that I was supposed to do. She introduced me to another lady that was doing a stage play, and ever since then, I've been doing this. But one of the reasons that I got along well with Bobby is because whenever I asked him a question about what he was doing or how to do certain things, he had an answer. And if he didn't know, he would find out and he would get back with me. This is what we're supposed to do. See, that's Bobby's legacy of not only being a filmmaker, but being a good source of information. Because that's something that I always remember is that was somebody I can always go to. If I have a question, I can go about filmmaking or casting or something like I can go ask him. That's a legacy. That's something that I will always remember. I'll always remember that he gave me my first start. That's a legacy. Being a filmmaker, that's a legacy. What's your legacy? What is your legacy going to be? If you were to pass away right here, right now, that was my question at the beginning of this. What would your legacy be? How would you be remembered? The time to start your legacy is now. Stop playing. Stop wasting time. Stop thinking that it's too late. Stop thinking that you're too old. Stop thinking all of that because it doesn't matter. You still alive. You still breathing. You still walking. You still talking. You still writing. If you can still do all of that, it is not too late. If your mind is still functioning at a great capacity, It is not too late. See, the only holdup is you. The only roadblock is you. Now we can blame it on everybody else, and yes, they are contributory to it. But the final decision in whatever it is that you choose to do or that you choose to not do, the final decision is yours. And if anybody can convince you to walk away from your legacy, to walk away from your talent, to walk away from your abilities, to walk away from your skills, if anybody can talk you out of that, then you didn't want it in the first place. Again, that's on you. Because none of us are going to be questioned for what you did or didn't do. We're not going to get asked, why did we do this? What was our motive? We're not going to get asked those questions. Because at the end of the day, we got our legacy taken care of. What's my legacy going to be? Is that I came from nothing and I turned that nothing into something. And I didn't quit. And I'm still not quitting. People can say what they want, but I'm in the frame of mind now that whatever you say about me is good publicity. I don't get mad if people talk about me no more because I remind myself now that they've been talking about Jesus Christ for 2,000 years and he ain't gave a care one way or the other, whether it's good or bad. So if they talking about me like that, I'm in good company. Because at the end of the day, the person that's talking about you, they're enticing somebody else to learn about you. They're inspiring somebody else to look at your story. They're motivating somebody else to see what it is about you that has this person so riled up against you. These people that are hating you and talking about you behind your back and all of this, they really helping us. They really helping. Because somewhere somebody's gonna look you up. Well, hold on. Oh, well, dang. Or they're gonna what they're gonna do, they're gonna look you up or they're gonna meet you themselves. Cause I'm one of them people. People can tell me something bad about you all day long. And I hear it, I listen to it, I take it into consideration. But that's still speculation and hearsay to me. That's that he say, she say, childish stuff. See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out who you are. And I'm going to meet you myself. I'm going to get to know you myself from my point of view, from my level of understanding. Yes, I hear what somebody else said about you, and I heard what they had to say about you and the rumors and this and that and the other. I've heard all of that. And I could go by that, but I'd rather find out from the source. There's so many people that I've heard stuff about that once I met them, how did Spock say that? Was that Spock that said that in Star Trek? It was a line that he said about his death. Says my death was highly exaggerated or something like that. That's how I feel about some of the people that I've met based off of the rumors and stories that I was told. The stories were highly exaggerated. But see, I'm a type of person that I have to find out for myself about you. And I'm not one to stir up trouble. I'm not going to tell you, well, I heard this and that, and somebody said this about you, because all it does that creates drama, that creates conflict. That ain't what I'm there for. I'm just there to find out for myself what kind of person that you are. And again, most of the people that I've met, based on the stories that I was told, stories is highly exaggerated. The stories are biased. They're one-sided because people never tell what it is that they did. They tell what you did and how bad you are and how wrong you are and this and that and the other. They have all of that to say, but they've never once said what they did to that person to make that person react that way, because we all respond to certain things, whether it's good, whether it's bad, we respond. And people like to take those responses and they like to twist them to their benefit, to where they're always the victim. See, that's their legacy, always playing the victim. What's that song? The Big Mouth by Houdini. You just like a snake that's crawling on the ground, looking for some new dirt to spread around. Then you stick out your tongue and start spreading lies, and now somebody else has been victimized. You may stop for a while, then you at it again. But you always, I forgot how, I forgot how the rest goes. But you always got to have your 2 cents in it. But what they say at the end of the song, make sure you spell my name right. No, this is something that you want to go tell your crew. I make the beat big so I can rock the house, but I also made it big enough to fit in your mouth. Don't let anybody tarnish your legacy. Don't let nobody close that door to expanding on your legacy. Don't let nobody put an anvil on your abilities and on your skills and on your talent, because it's not theirs to do that with. It was given to you to leave something behind. It don't always have to be something physical, man. This society is fixated on the superficial and the material, and you got to leave money and you got to leave this. The best thing that you can leave as a legacy is knowledge, because that can't be taken. See, this microphone can break. Computer, I got 2 computers right here. They broke. I can't do nothing with it. I can't do nothing with these except gut them out, throw them away. But it's material. Knowledge is your power. Knowledge is your legacy. And even if you don't have anything physical to leave to your kids, the knowledge that you've acquired over your years on this earth, your trials, your tribulations, the lessons that you learned, the experiences that you went through, that's your legacy, because you can pass that on and it'll continue to be passed on from one generation to the next. That can't be stopped. They can delay it, they can try and sway it to another direction, but it can't be stopped. It's time to raise up. Stop being scared of your own shadow. Stop doubting yourself. Stop putting yourself down. Stop letting other people that are not breathing your breath, walking your steps, control you. This is your life. This is your time. This is your legacy. The greatness is in you. And the only person that can bring it out of you is you. Don't worry about the roadblocks. They're meant to be there. Don't worry about the challenges. They're meant to be there. Don't worry about the struggles. They're meant to be there. They're put there for you to overcome. They're put there to see how bad that you want what you say you wanted. I'm going to say this again. If you want to go back to school, go back to school. If you want to write a book, write the book. If you want to write a song, write the song. If you want to open up your own business, open your own business. Stop listening to outside people trying to tell you what you can and can't do. All of those are tarnishments and challenges to your legacy. Start that business. Start that nonprofit agency that you've been talking about for 10 years. I have somebody that keeps telling me well, I ain't going to say what I have, but let's just say that I have enough stuff to do certain things. And this person has been telling me for the longest that I need to be doing this and that I should be doing this. And because I have the ability and I have the skill, but see what the problem is, I've been listening to that inner talk. See, the outside talk, it can't get to me. See, in order for the outside talk to get to me, it has to infiltrate somebody around me. It can't get to me directly. So the only person that I'm praying with is myself. And I came to the conclusion the other day that I've been putting on Facebook, y'all been sleeping on me. Every now and then, if anybody's seen my page, I put a post up every night. Y'all been sleeping on me. Y'all still sleeping on me. Stop sleeping on me. But you know what I never put up there? I need to stop sleeping on me. See, I'm telling y'all to wake up about me, about my music, about my books, about my acting. I'm telling y'all to wake up, but I'm not telling myself to wake up. See, I'm tarnishing my own legacy because I'm procrastinating. But see, that's something that I have to deal with. A lot of y'all are still listening to the world. You're letting the world dictate what you can and can't do, how successful you will or won't be, or whether or not you will be successful. You letting the world dictate that. Stop letting the world dictate you. It's not their job. It's not my job. It's not our job. Handle your business. If you to die right now, what would your legacy be? And if you're not sure, it's time to start figuring it out. It's time to start leaving your legacy. Because tomorrow is not promised. The next hour is not promised. The next 30 minutes is not promised. The next 5 minutes is not promised. And in this crazy, mixed up, I don't even know what to call this world that we live in now, it's almost to the point that 60 seconds ain't even promised. So get up off your ass. Get the wind behind your back. Get your feet firmly planted on the ground and take that step to leave your legacy. Because ain't nobody and can't nobody do it like you. Raise up, y'all. Our time is now. Really, really now. I'm hoping that this got through to somebody because it's just I've been seeing so much going on that's not making any sense. And there's people here, like I said, with talents, skills, and abilities that y'all wasting it away. You know, a speaker said that some people that have died not being up to their full potential. That you can write it on their tombstone, not used up. Stop procrastinating. Stop wishing. Stop wondering. Get up. Get the wind behind your back and do it. We ain't gotta like it. We ain't got to agree with it. It's not up to us. Handle your business, y'all. Time again is now. Peace.
These niggas wanna play with me, thinking they playing.
Oh, I guess I ain't done yet. It'll put me back on the air again. What is going on? All right. So since they put me back on again, I'm gonna remind y'all that I have a show on February 11th, 460 Glover Street, Marietta, Georgia, and I have a show on February 26th in Stone Mountain. Come check it out. I don't know why my computer put me back on. I'm glad that I wasn't saying nothing crazy around the way. But y'all have a good night. I'm gonna try this again. I don't know what my computer doing. Like I said, this technology is doing some weird stuff. But y'all have a good one. Figure this out.